Have you ever noticed that when you start thinking about a certain car, suddenly you see it everywhere? Maybe you think about buying a red car, then all of a sudden, red cars are on every street. But here's the truth. The red cars were already there. You just were not looking. And that one idea explains a lot about life. The opportunity was already there. The lesson was already inside the problem. The door may have already been open, but if your mind was not trained to notice it, it passed right by you. That is the red car theory. And no, this is not magical thinking. This is not sitting in your room repeating affirmations and expecting the universe to drop a perfect life into your lap. That is not spirituality. That is avoidance wearing spiritual clothing. Real spirituality is awareness. Real spirituality is attention. Real spirituality is seeing clearly, acting honestly, and creating from love instead of fear. Because life does not reward fantasy. Life responds to alignment. Your thoughts, choices, habits, words, attention, and actions all have to start working in the same direction. Think of your attention like a flashlight in a dark room. The room may have a door, a key, a mirror, a flower, and a snake, but whatever your flashlight points towards becomes your world. If you point it at the snake, the world feels dangerous. If you point it at the flower, the world feels beautiful. If you point it at the key, suddenly there is a way out. Same room, different focus, different life. That is why two people can experience the same situation and walk away with two completely different realities. One person sees rejection, another sees redirection. One person sees failure, another sees training. One person sees stranger, another sees a teacher, a friend, a mentor, or an opportunity. This does not mean pain is fake. It does not mean injustice is not real. It means your attention decides what information becomes useful to you. Modern neuroscience gives us a simple way to understand this. Your brain has a system that helps filter information, and one of the systems often discussed in relation to attention is called the Reticular Activating System, or RAS for short. Now, the RAS is not a magic manifestation button. It does not bend reality for you, but it does point to something real. Your brain is always filtering. If your brain notices everything at once, you would be overwhelmed. So it asks what matters, and what you repeatedly focus on teaches your brain what matters. If your mind keeps asking what is wrong, your brain starts scanning for problems. If your mind starts asking what is the opportunity here, your awareness begins looking for openings. Same world, different filter. If you keep telling yourself, I am unsafe, your brain starts looking for danger. If you keep telling yourself, nobody respects me, your brain starts looking for insults. If you keep telling yourself, there are no opportunities, your brain starts looking for proof that life is empty. And because the world is big enough to prove almost any belief, you will find evidence. That is the scary part. Your mind is a loyal servant, but a terrible master. It will help you find what you keep asking it to find. This is where a lot of manifestation teaching gets it wrong. People say, just think positive. But what if someone is grieving? What if they are broke? What if they are depressed? What if they are living in fear? Telling someone to just focus on abundance can become cruel when their nervous system is drowning. So let's be honest. Do not lie to yourself. If you are broke, do not say, I am a millionaire, while your body knows you are scared. Deep down, your nervous system does not believe it. So say something truer. Say, I am learning to see resources. Say, I am becoming someone who creates value. Say, today, I will notice one opportunity I used to ignore. That is not delusion. That is direction. There is a difference between fantasy and faith. Fantasy avoids reality. Faith enters reality with courage, not blind belief, not waiting for life to rescue you, but a deeper trust that says, show me the next right action and give me the courage to take it. That is why every serious path of wisdom teaches responsibility, different languages, same truth. Wake up, pay attention, then act. Now ask yourself, what red cars have you been trained to see? Because not every red car is positive. Some people are trained to notice rejection. Some people are trained to notice danger. Some are trained to notice disrespect. Some are trained to notice why life will not work. And then they call that being realistic. But sometimes it is not realism. Sometimes it is an old wound looking for evidence. If you believe you are unworthy, you may keep noticing people who ignore you and miss the people who love you. If you believe success is dangerous, you may sabotage yourself every time life opens a door. If you believe love always leaves, you may cling, control, accuse, or run away and then say, see, love leaves. But maybe love did not leave. Maybe fear chased it away. That is the hard truth. But truth is love when it wakes you up. I remember a time when I was between jobs and had a chance to interview at a global tech giant. On the outside, it was an opportunity. But inside, all I could hear was fear. I kept thinking, I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. I'm not that kind of material. And that fear did not come from nowhere. Before that, I had worked at a fast-moving startup that exposed me. It showed me what I did not know. It humbled me. And after being let go, I started carrying this quiet belief that maybe I was not good enough. So when a bigger door opened, I did not see a door. I saw danger. I let fear talk me out of giving myself a real chance. Maybe I would have gotten the job. Maybe I would not have. But the deeper lesson is this. I never got to find out because fear made a decision before courage had a chance to speak. And looking back, that was one of my red cars. The opportunity was right in front of me. But because my mind had been trained by that old wound, I did not recognize it as an opening. I filtered it as danger. That is what fear does. It does not always block the door. Sometimes it convinces you the door is a threat. Carl Jung taught that what we do not make conscious can control us from the shadows. In simple words, if you do not face your patterns run your life. The red card theory is not only about seeing opportunities, it is also about seeing yourself. People often say, that person is lucky. Sometimes, yes, grace is real, timing is real, mystery is real, but a lot of what we call luck is prepared attention. One person walks into a room and sees nothing. Another person walks into that same room and sees a problem they can solve, a person they can help, a lesson they can learn, or a door they can open. Same room, different eyes. This is true in business. This is true in relationships. This is true in healing. This is true in spirituality. Your life changes when you stop asking, why is nothing happening for me? And start asking, what am I not noticing? That question can change everything, not because it magically bends reality, because it opens your eyes. An open eye creates different choices. So here's the actual practice. Every morning, choose your red card. Not 10 things, one thing. Ask yourself, what am I training my mind to notice today? Maybe today your red card is courage. Maybe it is peace. Maybe it is opportunity. Maybe it is discipline. Maybe it is one moment where fear normally controls you, but today you choose love. Write it down. Today, I am looking for courage. Then do not force courage. Notice where courage is being invited. That difficult conversation, red car. That email you keep avoiding, red car. That business idea you keep dismissing, red car. That silence you keep running away from, red car. Life is speaking all day, but most people are not listening. They are scrolling, reacting, comparing, defending, and replaying old pain, living inside yesterday's fear and calling it reality. The awakened person becomes a listener, but be careful. Attention without love can become manipulation. You can use focus to become rich and still be empty. You can build a business and lose your soul. You can manifest attention and still hate yourself. So the question is not only, what am I looking for? The deeper question is, from what state am I looking? Am I looking from fear, from envy, from insecurity, from revenge, or am I looking from love, from service, from truth, from devotion? Before you chase anything, place your hand on your heart and ask, is this desire clean? Will this make me more alive? Will this help me love better? Does this serve only my ego, or does it serve the whole? Because fear creates cages, love creates life. So here's the red card theory in one sentence. You do not experience reality only as it is. You experience reality through what you are trained to notice. That should humble you, because you may be missing things, but it should also empower you, because you can train your sight. You can train yourself to notice grace. You can train yourself to notice opportunity. You can train yourself to notice wisdom. You can train yourself to notice when fear is lying and when love is calling. But once you see the door, you still have to walk through it. That is the part people avoid. They want signs, but not steps. They want purpose, but not discipline. They want abundance, but not responsibility. They want awakening, but not honesty. No, the sign is not the destination. The sign points. You walk. So for the next 24 hours, choose one red card, one quality, one truth, one next right action. Look for it like someone promised you $50 every time you found it. And when you see it, act. Because awareness without action becomes entertainment. And you were not born for spiritual entertainment. You were born to remember. You were born to create. You were born to experience. Not as a frightened ego begging life for permission, but as a living spark of the source, learning to turn attention into love, love into action, and action into a more beautiful world. The red cars are already there. Open your eyes and then drive. If this message spoke to you, comment your red cars for the next 24 hours. Courage, peace, opportunity, discipline, truth. Write it down, then go live awake. Remember, create, experience.